Okay, so we're going to turn you over to our friends, Val and Liz, because we thought it would be really fun to do a little bunny session around Easter. So we're just going to have fun and talk about rabbits and do a little rabbit craft and just relax before the long weekend. So I'm going to turn it over to Liz and Val.
Oh, great. Thank you for joining us. Welcome. So we're going to do fiction and nonfiction both, but let's start with fiction. Let's start with a story about Rabbit. And Rabbit today is not happy because Rabbit has looked around at all the other animals, and Rabbit, he just thinks it's not fair. Rabbit says, "Well, giraffe has a really long, what does giraffe have that's so long?" And you can type that in the chat if you want. Really long neck, that's right. And elephant has some great big, what do you know about elephants? Great big ears, right? And rabbit, he hops over to Earth Spirit and he says, "Earth Spirit, it's not really fair. I want something cool like they have." And Earth Spirit says, "You can have anything you want, Rabbit. What do you want?" Rabbit said, "Actually, I'd like to have two things. I'd like to have courage and I'd like to be bigger." All right. Have you guys ever heard of a courageous rabbit? Not really. But that's what Rabbit wanted. So Earth Spirit, he said, "Fine, no problem, but you have to bring me three things." So you guys listen carefully because we're going to need to remember all these things during the story. The first thing is a feather from Eagle of the Sky. Second thing is two scales from Fish of the Sea. And the third thing is a tooth from Lion of the Jungle. And Rabbit, he said, whoa, he has no idea, right, of how he's going to get that. He just hops off. And the first thing, of course, that happens to Rabbit is the Eagle of the Sky swoops down and picks him up and he says, "Rabbit, I'm going to eat you today." Rabbit, he says, wait a minute. Did you bring your magic feather?" And Eagle of the Sky, he says, "I don't have a magic feather." And Rabbit said, "Oh, yes, you do. Oh, yes, you do. It's right there on your wing." And so Eagle, he looks at that feather, and Rabbit says, "All you got to do is pull it out and wave it over me a couple of times, and then you're going to have two nice, fat, juicy rabbits." So Eagle, he is not sure that he believes Rabbit. Do you guys believe Rabbit? You can say yes in sign language, or no. This is no with tapping your two fingers on your thumb, or yes. It's worth a try, and it's only one feather. So that's fine. So Eagle says, okay. So he pulls out. So I'm going to cut out Eagle's feather. And here it is. Can you guys see that? And he waves it over Rabbit a couple of times. Does it work? He tries it again. He waves it over Rabbit. Do we have two nice, fat, juicy rabbits yet? No. Everybody say no. And Eagle, he says, Rabbit, this is not working. This is not a magic feather. And Rabbit, he says, "Oh, yes, it is. Just give it to me." So he holds out his little rabbit paw, and Eagle puts his feather in Rabbit's paw. And now Rabbit, he grabs that feather and he hops off down the path as fast as he can go. And Eagle of the Sky, he's angry. He says, "Wait a minute, come back here with my magic feather." But Rabbit, he says, "Oh, the only thing magic about this is that I tricked you into giving it to me. Aha." And so he has the feather. All right. Do you guys remember? What does he need next? Who remembers? You can type that in chat. Something from Fish of the Sea. What does he need from Fish of the Sea? Haven't answered yet. I'm looking to say, oh, scale. That is absolutely right. Two scales from Fish of the Sea. This time Rabbit has a plan. He gets his toy drum out of his box and he carries it down to the river and he starts playing his drum. He's laughing, he's smiling, he's singing, he's dancing, he's acting like he's having a good time, right? Guess who swims up? Fish of the Sea, that's right. Fish of the Sea, he swims up and he says, "Oh, Rabbit, That looks like so much fun. Can I have a turn with your drum? And Rabbit says, yeah, for 2 scales you can. So Fish of the Sea, he says, okay. So he pulls out one big shiny scale. Here's the big shiny scale. He pulls out a second smaller shiny scale and he gives them to Rabbit. Now, what does Rabbit do? Does he give him the drum? Is it a magic drum? He just hops off down the path with the scales, right? And Fish of the Sea, he says, come back here. I want to turn with your magic drum. Rabbit, he says, ah, ha, ha, I tricked you. It's not really magic. And so who remembers what's the last thing that he needs? Something from Lion of the Jungle. I'm looking to see who's going to type it in first. Something from Lion of the Jungle. Rabbit is just, oh, I see it, a tooth. And that is from Carrie. Good job. Tooth from Lion of the Jungle. Rabbit's just hopping down the path. Lion jumps out from behind a bush. He gets Rabbit in his mouth. And actually, this could be the end of the story, right? Except that Rabbit, he's a trickster. He pulls out that feather. You guys remember the feather from Eagle of the Sky? He pulls that feather out and he sticks it way back in the back of Lion's throat. And he tickles Lion's throat. Now Lion has to open his mouth to cough, right? But when Lion opens his mouth to cough, Rabbit takes that drum. Do you guys remember the drum? And he sets it right on top of Lion's tooth. You know, the one that sticks out on the side. Lion gets done coughing. He gets ready to shut his mouth, but he doesn't know that there is a drum in the way, right? And when he shuts his mouth, what happens to the tooth? What do you think happens to that tooth? The one that sticks out on the side, I'm cutting it out. Here's Lion's tooth right here. It breaks off and it falls out and it lands on the path. And Rabbit, he quick as a wink. He hops out of Lion's mouth. He picks up the tooth and he hops over to Earth Spirit. He says, look, I have everything you need. I have do you remember this one? A feather from Eagle of the Sky. I have 2 scales, Fish of the Sea, and I have a tooth from Lion of the Jungle. Now, here I am. All right. Did you guys know I was cutting out a rabbit? I want to have courage and I want to be bigger. And Earth Spirit, he says, what? You've already got courage. You tangled with these dangerous animals, but I'm going to give you some new big feet because you're going to need to run away from them. So Rabbit, he looks down at his new big feet and he says, thank you. But actually, I kind of wanted something different, something bigger. Earth Spirit says, fine, no problem. He reaches down and he pulls on Rabbit. Which part of him do you think he pulls on? Pulls on his ears, that's right. And he makes his ears this big. And now Rabbit, he has big feet so he can run away from animals. And he has big ears so he can hear animals. And I call that story Rabbit's Wish. And give yourselves a big hand or say yes in sign language. Yes. Okay, so Miss Liz, big feet, right? And big ears.
That's right. That's right.
Yes. So we are going to use our paper and our scissors now and make some ears so that we can do the science experiments, okay? And I'm going to switch cameras. Sometimes I think the switching cameras is what makes it go on mute, but we will keep our fingers crossed here. If you can't hear me on this, we'll figure this out.
Okay, Val is on mute. Val, can we hear you now? No, not yet. But maybe if you go up to the communicate, Val, and see if you can unmute yourself. But in the meantime, I think I know what we're going to do. Got your piece of paper, and you're going to make a dot at the upper right hand. Oh, fold it first, of course. And then what you're going to do is you're going to make a dot at the upper right hand corner. So Val, if you want to do that, oh, nice big dot. Everybody do that with Val. And then you're going to make a dot at the bottom left-hand corner. Yep. And that's right. Draw it up. And then draw another one up. So then you have rabbit ears. Everybody catch up and do that. And then, of course, what do you think we're going to do? We're going to keep it folded. And then we're going to cut it out. And then you guys have your own rabbit ears. So go ahead and start cutting. If you need to catch up, that's okay. We won't go too fast. Good. All right, Val is still on mute for some reason, but that's okay. I can walk her through it. And then I am going to do the science with those ears. So go ahead and cut the other side, Val. All right. Everybody join Miss Val so you guys have your own set of rabbit ears. Nice. There we go. And I'm going to take off my rabbit ears that I have here because I also cut out some rabbit ears. And at this time, Molly, if you could spotlight me, because it is now time for the science. Yep. All right. So hi, everybody. I am Miss Liz, the Science Whiz, and now it's time for the nonfiction, the science, the real stuff. So what we're going to do is we are going to become the scientist. So what I want you guys to do is I want everybody to crank on your scientist ears. So let's crank them on. Nice. Now, I see scientists from all over Canada. All right. Now, since you guys are a scientist, you guys are going to experiment in a lab. And a lab can be anywhere. It can be the ocean, it can be your backyard, it can be the aquarium. But where it's going to be right now is exactly where you're sitting. If you're sitting in the kitchen, the living room, the bedroom, even outside, it is your lab. So tap on the floor or tap on your table and say lab.
Lab. Can you guys hear me yet?
Miss Val again. Good.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. All right. So you're working in the lab. And what we're going to do, we're going to talk about rabbit adaptations. And I want everybody to say adaptation.
Adaptations.
Nice. So let's put up the slide and let's explain what an adaptation is. Very, very important.
Okay, so here we go. Can you see that one?
Yes, we can see it. Very good. All right. Rabbits have adaptations. Now, an adaptation helps an animal survive. Now, it's either something on an animal or it's a behavior of an animal that helps a rabbit survive and it's in their environment and helps them, in this case with rabbits, protect them from predators. Let's look at some of the predators of a rabbit. All right.
All right, do you guys know these predators?
Yes. So if you do, go ahead and type them into the chat room. We have a bird of prey. And we also have, what is that other picture? Go ahead and type it into the chat room.
And here's some more predators.
That's right. Carrie said snake. And here we have a fox. And also a dog can be a predator too. Pets can be predators of rabbits. Now let's talk about the first adaptation that helps a rabbit. Ears. Of course. Their ears, all right? Now, their ears are an incredible adaptation for a rabbit, all right? They stay safe. Now, they can help them hear the predators. A rabbit's ears, they can actually turn and they can almost turn their head all the way around to help them listen better. And also, it helps a rabbit keep cool. So what happens is the blood from their bodies goes up to their ears, and then the heat from that blood, not the blood doesn't go up, but the heat from that blood goes out their ears. You know what I think we should do? I think we should pretend we're rabbits and use our rabbit ears. So go ahead and take off the slideshow, and I want everybody to take their rabbit ears, and I want you guys to put them up on your head. And what I want you to do is I want you to turn this way, and then turn this way. All right, I hear a predator. Think about what predator you hear. Another thing that a rabbit can do is they can move their ears independently of each other. All right, so go ahead and move your ears back and forth. All right, again, helps them hear. All right, now, quick, hurry, get back to where you're sitting and tell me what predator you're escaping. I think I'm escaping a fox. Go ahead and tell me.
Rattlesnake.
Oh, wow. Oh, I see a bald eagle and rails and
yes.
snakes and hawks.
And a hawk. Awesome.
Good. All right. So again, ears as an adaptation. Let's look at some other adaptations that rabbits have.
Okay, here we go with the next one. Let's see. You guys did that. Ears. What about this?
Oh, their feet. All right, they have big feet so they can escape the predators. And a rabbit's foot is longer than their head. All right, so as you can see in that first picture. So what I want you guys to do, let's compare. Let's see if a human's foot is longer than their head. Mine is not, but maybe yours is. You can type it into the chat room if you think so. Now, another thing that rabbits have on their feet is they're very padded, all right, and helps the shock from landing. Because as we know, rabbits hop a lot. Now, I want you to look at the picture. Can you see the fur on the bottom of her foot? If you can, go ahead and give me a hand sign, yes. You can, or no if you can't. I definitely can. It looks like Miss Val can too.
Yes.
Now, you know what I think we should do? I think we should take our rabbit ears and I think we should put them on our feet. And what we're going to do is we are going to jump and hop. And what we're going to do is we're going to hop away and get away from predators. Okay, here's my rabbit ears. I'm putting them on my feet. All right, and I want, on the count of 3, everybody jump up high. I jumped really high. Let's do it one more time. And let's hop away. And let's get away from a predator. All right.
A hawk. I'm hopping away from a hawk.
Oh, good. This time I hopped away from a coyote. Now, we didn't show that as a predator, but it's definitely a predator. And maybe you can think of some different predators as well. Oh, it looks like somebody was getting away from a dog. That's right.
A dog. Whoa.
All right. Now, let's look at this foot adaptation again. All right, because this is a really, really great adaptation of a rabbit. All right, so we looked at this slide. We're going to look at another picture. And also, rabbits can hop very, very fast, 50 miles per hour. They can also jump 4 feet into the air, and some can even jump 10 feet forward. So now what I want you guys to do is we're going to use our rabbit ears as feet again. And another thing they can do, they can also turn directions very, very fast, again, to get away from those predators. So let's take our rabbit ears again. All right. And what I want you guys to do is jump 10 feet in the air. You guys think I jumped 10 feet in the air? All right. And then oh, I guess it's 4 feet into the air and then
4 feet in the air and 10 feet forward.
That's right. I just did 10 feet forward and then let's turn really fast this way and this way.
Getting away from a wolf.
Get away from the predators.
Coyote.
Oh, a wolf links a cat.
Oh,
nice.
I like that.
Wolf links a cat. That was Kerrigan.
Awesome.
Got
And
it.
a snake. Rael said the snake and
Yes. Okay, now we're going to talk about another adaptation. We're going to use our ears again. Okay, now, teeth. A rabbit's teeth. They never stop growing. And rabbits are herbivores, which means they only eat plants, like flowers, grass, leaves, vegetables. And their teeth are sharp and curved. Now, what I want you guys to do first is take your hand, and I want you to take your 2 fingers and curve them. Look at the X-ray and try to make your fingers the shape of the X-ray of the rabbit's teeth, okay? Now, they're so sharp so they can act like scissors, so they can cut through that rough vegetation or those rough vegetables like carrots, celery, radishes, okay? Another thing that they do is when they're in danger, they bite. So, what I think we should do is take our rabbit ears again, okay? And let's put them up to our mouths and curve them. All right, I'm gonna do the curve shape as you guys can see. All right, and I'm gonna pretend like I'm slicing through a carrot, or I am slicing through a radish.
yes, and sometimes they like to eat your flowers.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Good. They think they're good though.
Type into the chat room what you are eating, what you are slicing into. Or you can also pretend like maybe you are protecting yourself and biting one of those predators. You can also type that into the chat room. Okay, good. Okay. So now, this is what we're going to do. We are going to take those 3 adaptations, all right, and we're going to put them together. So, who can tell us in the chat room what was the first adaptation we talked about? All right, so type it into the chat room. Ears, all right. Looks like Carrie said ears. That's right. So, let's do our ears, all right, and let's move them, all right? Let's move them independently of each other. Let's turn our heads the other way. Wait, oh, I hear a predator. What was the second adaptation that we talked about? Type it into that chat room. Okay.
And it was feet. You got a lot of feet answers, Miss Liz. Yay, Rael. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. All right, let's do it. All right, let's hop into the air 4 feet. Let's turn this way and that way and hop away from those predators.
And also, you can
Woo!
thump your
Right.
foot.
And what was the last
Wait
adaptation?
a second, Miss Liz. Thumping their foot, right? What does that do? If you thump your foot, everybody thump your foot really hard on the ground.
I'm going to do it like this so you guys can see. That's right. So, all right, let's think like scientists. All right, Miss Val came up with a really, really good point. So, why would a rabbit thump their foot on the ground really hard? All right, type it into the chat room what you think why they would do that. So, I'm waiting for the answer here. So let's think about it.
Communicating with their fellow rabbits, their friends. What are they telling them? If they're thumping their foot on the ground really hard,
Yes,
all of a sudden.
that's right, to communicate. All right, everybody do that. All right, everyone go ahead and do it. To communicate. Danger, Carrie. Yes, danger. They're telling their other rabbit friends that there's a predator nearby, or it could even be that there's people nearby, and they don't know if they're a predator or not. So yes, danger. Really good. All right, now let's get back to our adaptations. What was the last one we talked about? Go ahead, put it in the chat room. You guys, by the way, you guys are really good at this chat room thing. Teeth, that's right. Let's get your teeth up, curve them, and slice it through. All right, slice it through that vegetation, slice it through that carrot, whatever you want to eat, or maybe even flowers. All right, that was awesome. All right, Miss Val, is there anything else we want to tell them before we have to sign off?
Yes, so we got all of the adaptations that a rabbit can do to keep safe, right?
Yes.
And sign language, yes. And I think you guys knew some from before, right? Yes and no. So we definitely need to do the sign language for a rabbit. I bet you can figure it out. So cross your wrists and put 2 fingers up for each of your rabbit ears. And here are your rabbit ears, right? And they can move, right? Move your rabbit ears to listen for a predator. Oh, over there, a fox. Stomp your foot. Oh, they're listening. They're stomping their foot to tell their friends, danger, rabbit. And of course, we have spring coming up and we're thinking about rabbits, and Mally had on some ears as well. I will put my ears back on, right? So you know what? Let's just say we wish you a happy rabbit day just for fun. So W is for
And while we do that, can we actually have Val highlighted? That way she can teach everybody this Happy Rabbit Day song.
And if you can unmute your mic when she speaks, she'll pop up.
Oh, okay.
Or sir, mute your mic, please.
All right.
That'll help, I think.
Okay. So did it work? Nope. I can't hear Liz, but so what do you think, Valley? Are we on?
I can't pin you because Val has the presenter ball, so I'm trying to move it.
Okay. What would you like me to do?
Katie would have to move it because she's the host.
Okay. Well, in the meantime, we'll just keep going on because Liz knows all the signs as well. So rabbit ears, right? Okay, and we is a W. So put your W over here on this shoulder and smile it across to this shoulder. We, keep your W, wish. You, point to yourself, point to somebody else in the room with you, right? We wish you a happiness comes from your heart, rabbit day. Right? All right, let's sing it. We wish you a happy rabbit day. We wish you a happy rabbit day. We wish you a happy rabbit day. Yes, a happy rabbit day. Or you could say spring. So because grass is going to start to grow, the snow is going to melt for you all up there in Canada, right? And the grass is growing. So this is how you do grow, or spring, right? Or grass. Rabbits. All right, so we want you guys to take your rabbit ears and do the ears, right? And the feet and the teeth for the rabbits, right? So you guys did an awesome job typing in the chat room, and we feel like we kind of got to know you from all of your nice comments. Thank you so much for joining us today.
That's a great job. I mean, that was awesome with the fiction and the nonfiction science. I mean, that was excellent. Thank you so much for letting us join you.
And thank you for teaching us a fiction story and some sign language. We wish you a happy Rabbit Day and some facts about rabbits. And we hope that you all have a really great long weekend and the students as well. So be safe, everyone, and we'll see you next week.
Awesome. Thank you for joining us.
Everyone.
Bye. Happy rabbits.
Yes, happy rabbits. Thank you.
Bye.